What is up, guys? So this is going to be a very unconventional video for me. I have a commercial shoot later on that I'm really excited to shoot. That's why I'm using my webcam and not my A camera right here, because I gotta put all the focus pull and map box and everything on that. So I didn't want to mess it up for a quick YouTube video. And so I really just want to show you guys two really cool apps that I use for pre-production for short films, commercial stuff, stuff that I hope to do a lot more, but I don't get to use all that often. It can be used for YouTube videos as well, but this is tools for really if you're planning something out. A lot of times YouTube videos, especially when I just make them myself, I stick to a schedule, but I'm not on someone else's schedule when I'm dealing with other people. So like today I'll have, Michelle will probably help out, but I may have another assistant. I have someone bringing a car. I have a actor. So when I'm dealing with other people's schedules, I want to make sure that I am making the best of everyone's times. And that's what these two apps are really best for. The first one is going to be something called Shotlister. I'm going to show you the app here. There's my whole folder of film apps. And in the bottom row, you see it has the little clapboard with a blue check in the middle. So that is Shotlister. Shotlister is exactly how the name is. If you have no idea what a shot list is, it is basically every movie you've ever seen, or really just TV show, anything. The director and all the people the cameraman and everything, they don't just show up at a place and say, a low angle looks well. Gee, which lens should we use? It would take 10 years to make one episode of a show or a movie using that pace. So a whole team gets together previously and comes up with a shot list where you plan out every single shot, everything from the camera that you're going to use, the lens, if you're going to use a dolly, a glide cam, a Ronin, or any type of stabilizer, what the general action is. It's not the same thing as a script. They both go hand in hand, but they basically, I'll open it up here as an example. So this was a commercial that I did a while back. So you can see here that I don't have any pictures in this one, but it has different scene numbers, and I see I named a title, so like the entrance. You can see that it's at nighttime because of the little moon. It's all the A setup since I only have the one main camera. A general action of the scene. I use things like POV shots for point of view, general camera terms, and then lens and any other things I use. And so it's very easy to continually just add a scene. I can click this little plus button up here, add a shot. It will go in right below it. I know it's all blurred out now. If you want to see in-depth reviews on any of these apps that I'm going to show you, something that's more put together and doesn't look like utter crap, let me know down in the comments. These are fantastic apps and I want to do them justice. So I just kind of want to get any gear rolling for anyone out there who does this sort of thing as well, who may not have heard of it. So you create your shot list, and what's nice about Shotlister that makes it different than other shot listing apps is, yes, you can just print it out and it will print out, if you didn't notice, towards the right here is where I can put photos, and that comes into handy with the second app I'm going to show you here in a couple minutes. But real quick, what makes Shotlister app different than anything else that I've ever used for shot listing is they have a sync feature, which is it is a free app to download, but if you want the ability to sync amongst a whole crew and things like that, and a couple extra different pro features, it is paid, but I think it's not bad at all. It's like $13 a year or something like that. I know it's no more than like $20 a year. And that allows you to sync. So, if you have multiple DPs or maybe DP to director, you can make changes and they sync across platform, everything. You can export in a certain way as well as do some other cool things. And trying to think. Oh, and then on the actual shoot day, you can basically hit start and it will continue to record where you're at through the day. So I can basically tap and it will leave a check mark, say I'm done with this scene. And you can input when your lunch is, when the call time is, which is the start time of the day, and the end time, and where your breaks and lunches are. And it will format everything to, even if you want to shoot out of order, and it helps you keep on track. Sorry about that minor technical difficulty. Apparently my startup disk was full and I had to delete stuff. Thank you, Daisy Disk, another app that you should check out. But anyway, Shotlister really helps you keep track of not only what shots you need left, but where you are at in the day. Everything will go green if you're on time, and it will tell you by how many minutes you're ahead of schedule, which is nice because if you want to film any pickup shots, you know exactly how long you have before you need to start your next scene. And so it really allows you to lay out your entire day to where you can be as efficient as possible with your time, which is, there's no greater thing in the world of film because nothing goes as planned. The second tool I have, which I actually do use in a ton of YouTube videos, but especially in anything where I need to plan things out, is something called a director's viewfinder. Now, if you look up a director's viewfinder, you will see something that looks like a long lens, and most of the time across they'll have different focal lengths, so you can obviously zoom in and out. You can see what different sensors are, but the hard part is professional ones are many $1,000s. You'll see them around directors' necks, hanging around on like a loop or something, and they're very, 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 very expensive because obviously there's many focal lengths, there's many different types of sensors if you're shooting full frame, Super 35, whatever it is, and stuff like that. So what do? There's an app for that. That's the world we live in now. So this app is called Cadrage, and I actually got it as a bundle deal with something called Geminos Lens Chart, which is really nice. I don't use that one that much. That one is about like comparing sensor sizes. So if you have multiple cameras with multiple frames, but using the same lens and stuff like that, it's really technical. So if you're super into technical lens and camera stuff, you can get the combo. I think it was like $1 more if I just got the combo, so I got it. But anyway, Cadrage. Yeah, so you see it as that little director's viewfinder right there. So that's the icon if you're looking for it. And I forget how much it was. It was a pretty pricey app. I think it was like $5 to $10. But for what it is and how often I use it, and again, comparing to professional ones are thousands of dollars. And this thing really goes a long way. Because obviously software, you can do a lot more flexibility for a lot less, because a few lines of code comparing to spending a lot on extra glass is good. So what this is quite simple. So you can see here that it brings up, adjust my mic. I don't know. All right, so as you can see here, and it's probably going to have a hard time focusing because there's so much, but it brings up your camera's viewfinder. And so as you can see, that's my camera. Yay. So what you do here is at the bottom, and it's probably not going to be in the best focus here, but this says it's the acronym for Blackmagic Production Camera 4K, which is my camera. But if I tap on it, probably can't see it that well, but this is like every camera ever that shoots video, everything from REs and Blackmagic to Red cameras, all the way to Canon DSLRs and Nikon DSLRs. So you basically choose whatever your camera is, and the nice thing about that is you have to choose your camera because every camera has a different sensor size. And then right next to that, right here, you see it says 18 mil. Come on. So these are all different focal lengths, everything from fisheye lens all the way to crazy telephoto lens at like 300. And the reason that you have to choose the right camera and the right lens, or the right camera I should say, is because if I am looking at an 18 millimeter on my Nikon D800, that is a full frame sensor, so I'm really getting 18 millimeters, whereas my Blackmagic 4K camera is a Super 35 lens, which is a crop size of whatever. I'm not going to go super into that. If you want to see videos on that, again, comments, you know what to do. But anyway, if I didn't choose the right camera and I chose 18 mil, then what I'm really seeing on here as 18 mil is not really it. But anyway, I have two lenses for my Blackmagic 4K camera. I have my Rokinon 35mm, which is on it right now, my main camera, and then I needed a wide angle, so I picked up this super cheap 18 to 55 Canon lens on eBay for $30. $30. Not going to be pulling amazing focus with this, but it will get me the wide angle shots I need. Hopefully the quality of the glass is decent enough, but you'll see that down the road. So I have both. When I went under here, I selected both 18 and 35. So let's see if I can. You may not be able to see it super well again here, but up here it says 18, and then here it does say 35, even though that's super blown out. Let me see if you can see it. You can kind of, this is terrible. You can kind of see it, but anyway, you can see the box. So the small box here, sorry about that, tapped it away. So the small box in the middle is what a 35mm lens would see on my camera, the Blackmagic 4K. And then the bigger square is what an 18mm. Now you may see there's a slight blue around. And this is kind of interesting because obviously with this app, you're limited by the focal plane or whatever of your phone's camera. So for example, if I add a 8mm lens to this, you're going to see a ton of blue, because you're going to see a ton of blue, and you can get some lens adapters that fit on the back that make it really wide angle can work with this app to give you a bigger field of view. But it at least demonstrates that all the way in the middle is what a 35 would see me. A 8mm would give me this much more. But for me, I don't have an 8mm. So the 18 just about fits the iPhone's field of view. It is slightly blue, so it's slightly out of it, but just a sliver. It works enough for what it is. And I guess I really haven't explained what this app is for. But the worst thing you can do on a shoot or anything like that is, for example, we're going to be doing we're doing hair products, so we're going to be in the bathroom at some point. And so the worst thing would be for me to carry my big tripod, my big camera setup, all the lights, and just kind of like squish into the bathroom and try to find the best lighting setup and my camera, just to find out that, oh my goodness, this setup isn't going to work. This lens isn't going to work in this corner. I'm not going to be able, none of my lenses will get me this shot, blah, blah, blah. So what I can do, and what I'm about to do here in a couple minutes, is go around the different locations that we're going to film. And I'm basically going to just bring my phone and this app, and that way I can stand in the corner or wherever I'm shooting and basically say, okay, if I want a very tight face framing, so in this I'm going to use my 35 because it only gets the very center of my eyes or something. But then if I wanted a super wide angle or more of a wide angle shot to get my entire head right now, then I would use the 18mm because I can see more of it. And what's really cool about this is there is a little shutter button here where I can take a picture and it will save it to my camera roll as well as the app itself with the lines on it, so I can choose what I want to shoot. And then I can take those photos and implement them into the shot list. So that way when I'm going through the shot list, I see the photos, I see what my camera is going to see, and yeah. I know that was a ton of information. Again, if you want to see an in-depth review of either of these apps separately or together in a more put-together video, let me know down in the comments below. Mash that like button. I love these apps, and I'd love to do a video on them if you'd like. But honestly, I think this was enough information, at least I hope, to, if you would know if you were interested in this type of thing, and if so, you should definitely go download them, especially Shotlister. It's free. There's no excuse not to try that out, at least if you're into it. But if you want to see more of a review on the Cadrage app and the Director's Viewfinder, if before you make the purchase, just let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna go get ready and start setting up the lights and everything. If you want to see a behind the scenes of the shoot tonight, also let me know down in the comments. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.